Now, across the Sahel, wide-ranging fallout from the effects of climate change are disrupting every aspect of young women's lives. In a new report, researchers from NGO Plan International spoke to 1,000 girls and women across 10 countries to get an insight into how their day-to-day and their futures have been reshaped. The region is one of the most climate impacted in the world, and the studies highlighted the particular precarity and dangers that women face amongst instability linked to environmental changes. Now, the report's called A Gathering Storm, and I'm joined now from Nigeria by one of the researchers who worked on it, Rifkatu Lalai. Rifkatu, thanks so much for speaking to me. First of all, just give us a bit of an overview in a sense of, what have you found in terms of the various ways that women's lives have been impacted by climate change across the Sahel?
Okay, thank you, Georgia. Through our research on the gendered impact of climate change in the Sahel region, conducted in five countries, that's Niger, Nigeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea. Our study focuses on five key thematic areas, which are food security, education, health, sexual and gender-based violence, and sexual reproductive health and rights. Each of these have highlighted the challenging realities that adolescent girls and young women face due to climate change. In terms of food security, we have uncovered heartbreaking stories of hunger, forcing girls into desperate survival strategies by reducing number of meals per day, engaging in hard labor to earn money for food, and also exchanging their bodies for food. When it comes to education, the burden of household chores and financial crisis has pushed many girls out of school and forced them to take labors in order to support their families. In terms of health, the breakdown of the health system to climate change like flood has limited girls and young women accessing health services, increased the incidence of malaria cases, and maintaining menstrual hygiene has become challenging for the adolescent girls and women in the Sahel region. This disruption brought about by climate change, such as displacement, poverty, has led a lot of gender exploitations, gender-based violence. Families overwhelmed by the poverty has actually start giving out their daughters for marriage at young age for them in exchange for food and money. Finding is related to climate change in terms of sexual and gender-based violence, and also sexual and reproductive health and rights.
So, what you said there was that a lot of these changes, that they affect families, they affect whole communities, they affect society. So why is it that the nature of the impact on women is different to perhaps other parts of society? What is it that means that they're so specifically impacted?
Okay, so while this climate change affects the communities, the impact on women and girls is severe due to gender roles and inequalities. Women and girls are most vulnerable during crisis or impact of climate change because girls and women are seen as the primary caregivers and food providers in many households. Our findings have proved that the reality of girls and women in the Sahel regions, exchanging their bodies for food, and women dropping out of school to support their family. In the recent flood that caused in Maiduguri, Borno State, Nigeria, lack of access to has exposed a lot of women and girls to sexual exploitation, gender-based violence, and actual lack of access to menstrual hygiene and management. Maternal health care centers that has become very challenging for women and girls to access. So the climate change doesn't just affect the community, but increase the existing gender inequalities with girls and women paying the highest price.
Interesting. Thanks, Rifkatu. So, what is being done to respond to this, and what do you hope can be done with the kind of insight that your research offers?
Okay, so despite the challenges of the climate change, communities are finding ways to adapt to the effects their voices about the impact of climate change and pushing for change. Some groups like Get Equal under Plan International work towards to provide menstrual hygiene products and also educate the people in the community on reproductive health education, and also focuses on tree plantings and environmental sanitation. And also the young girls and the women in the communities engage in those activities to reduce the effects of climate change. As a researcher, this research has given us, the young researchers, the tools to amplify the voices of girls and women in the community for real solution. It's not just about documenting the crisis, it's about demanding for action. And I hope that this finding will influence policymakers, NGOs, and international organizations to invest in solutions that prioritize adolescent girls and young women. If we don't act now, we risk losing an entire generation to devastating climate change. As a young researcher, these are not just statistics, they are real lives, real pain, and real struggles. Thank you.